Hello, this is John. I've got an interesting one for you here. I've never even seen one. So obviously, I've never worked on one. It is in beautiful shape. A Centaure Caribe, made in France. It's a skirted spool reel. It's got this, the Swiss cheese on the spool here. Everything's in French on it. It did not have a handle. I figured out that a pin 710, or I'm sorry, 712 handle fits it perfectly. It does not look like the factory handle, but it actually fits really, really well. I had one of these in stock. It's the same threads. Amazing. Yeah, just got lucky, I guess. Now this, I can see already I'm going to make a tool change here. I think I had it. Yeah, all right. No, that's not it. Oh, here it is. I knew I had it somewhere. I think to get this spool off, I got to have this special tool right here. See if I can find the little quarter drive. Actually, I need it on this. Is that it? Yes, it is. See that little forked screwdriver tip? I think it's what I need to get this off. Somebody has attempted to take this off and failed. And I might be failing too. I don't know. It's not coming loose. I don't think it will come off just by. That's, yeah, because that's all the way loose. I'm already messing the threads up. That's not a good thing. This is just a little bit wider than the groove size. So I'm going to try to gently course it down in there with a couple pounds of my hammer. Yeah, that didn't do a whole lot. That didn't do much at all, but pound my bit further up into the, it's coming out. Okay. All right, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Making a mess here this morning. That's always good, isn't it? Well, this one's not starting off great. I'm going to have to clean that screw up if I ever get it out there. Let's try it again without it in the damn. Maybe it's left-hand thread. Well, look at that. That's why somebody else couldn't get it out. I messed it up a little bit, but nothing that can't be fixed. And it looks like it just needs a groove cut back in it. If I can find a really thin little file here, I can probably cut a better groove into that. This is basically a nut. That'd be a little bit thick. Well, we'll come up with something. Probably have to get the Dremel out and just use a cutter tool and just cut a groove back into it. That comes out. That comes off. It goes in there like that. There should be a drag in here. Yeah, there we go. We'll clean that up. Everything wants to fall today. We'll put that right there. I don't use that a whole lot. Let's see if we can get this. This is the maintenance cover, I guess you could say. It might give me a look inside of it and see what I'm up against. Well, this reel's in beautiful shape. Interesting. Interesting. We're going to take these 3 screws out. Be careful not to butterfly them. Never had one of these apart. I can't even find any schematic on it. I did not find any YouTube videos on this reel. This will be the only YouTube video, I guess, in existence on this reel. There were other Centurions, but not any Caribe or whatever it is. Caribe. You tell me, folks. You tell me. There's 2 screws on the cross line. They got to come out. I love the simplicity of these old reels. Well, I say that now. I might be eating those words here in a minute, but so far it's pretty simple. Just like a modern reel. And up here we've got a 1-inch a 1-inch nut. I'm guessing it's going to be left-hand thread. I really don't want to scratch this. I probably should get a socket out. Stay right there. I'm going to go get a socket out of my box. Just be a minute. No idea what size it is. It's not a 19. My guess is it's going to be a 20. Yep, 20. 20 millimeter. Little sidetrack there. Hang on just a minute. Let's do it right and not tear it up. 20 millimeter. And it's left-hand thread. Interesting. There's something loose in there. Well, it's got to come off. Right? It has to, right? I don't know. There it goes. I'm getting free fishing tackle out of this one. Oh my goodness. Well, if I had to guess, this spins off of that. So I'm going to make an executive decision here. I'm going to put this back on with a couple screws in it. Just hang on. You'll see what I'm doing. Let's see if I can hold it with a handle. A pin handle of all things. An American handle on a French reel. What is the world coming to? What is the world coming to? So it's got to go. That's tighten. So to loosen it, I'm going to have to hold that handle somehow or another. Oh shit, I don't know what's going to happen with that. It's going to unthread it. Interesting. There's got to be a trick to it, huh? That tightens it. It's got left-hand threads. We know that from the nut, right? If I had to guess, what we would do in the field in this situation is we would whack it with a hammer about right there. I don't have a big rubber mallet out here, but I do have this. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't have any way to hold it. That's the problem. Don't have any way to hold the reel there. I could try. It's kind of awkward to hang on to because it's this big bale. So I'm going to try to use a screwdriver. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Afraid I'm going to damage it. Let's take it back apart and ponder at it a little bit more. One of you people out there has had one of these things apart and are saying, "You dummy, you got to do it like this." Well, this dummy ain't never took one apart before, so push comes to shove because everything's working. This is what you clean the way it is. You don't want to tear something up trying to fix it. We'll go ahead and take the gear out of it. There is a shim, I believe. Or is there? That's just a bushing. Yeah, it's a bushing. We'll clean that up just the way it is. I'm about to decide just to leave the rest of it together. I don't think there's a bearing in there. I think it's just a bushing. The bell spring is under here, and that's bent. I'll take that loose and take a look at it. The little cover. But there's nothing wrong with that bell spring. Although, probably ought to take it out and clean it. Definitely need to flatten that cover back down. They like their left-hand threads. Something tells me that getting that bell spring out of there is probably not worth it, but I'll clean it out good. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it just like it is and clean it. So I'll be back when I get it done. This is cool. I like this. I see some really neat things about this reel. Let me go ahead and just, while we're on camera, go ahead. The grease is not in bad shape. I have no idea how old this thing is. If you know, put it in the comments. Probably the oldest French-made reel I've ever worked on would have been a Garcia Mitchell, maybe, maybe a 300 or something like that. Certainly nothing this old. It's not original anymore because the handle was missing. That's why nobody picked it up at auction. They saw it and they're like, yeah, well, we're not going to go there. That doesn't scare me. As soon as I got in, I looked at it, I was like, well, I think a 704 handle will fit. Well, I tried a 704 handle and it does fit, but it looks stupid. A pin 704 handle's got a bend in it. And I said, well, it needs a straight handle. I know the 704 and the 710, 712 have the same size threads. So I picked up a 710 handle out of my box parts and it fit perfectly. I was like, well, there we go. Problem solved. And so here we are. We're going to have a nice, not exactly original, but a lot of good original parts in it somebody might want. All right, we'll clean it up. We'll be back. Well, I'm back. Oh, me. Sore today. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday and I had to get my catheter changed out. I don't care how many times you have to have that done as a man. I can't speak for females. It doesn't feel good. I'm sure it doesn't feel great to a female either. But I survived. I'm back to working on this Centaure Caribe. Centaure Caribe. I have no idea, folks. Y'all tell me. It's a cool old reel. That's what it is. It's a cool old reel. It was hard to clean. Number one, there was a lot of stuff up under it, still getting out. Up in here, I couldn't, as you recall, I could not take this rotor off of here, so I'll come back and work on that a little bit in just a second. Let's put this bad boy back together. This is all part of the drag. This is all part of the rotor. Side cover. Look how nice that handle cleaned up. It was pretty dirty. It's going to look really good on this reel. That's part of the handle. These are cover screws. I think we got everything. These two go with that. Not a lot of parts this reel. Very simple reel. I noticed this is a little smashed, or it looks like it could catch your hand. So we're gonna fix that. We'll put it over here on the vise and flatten that back down. Got that. Those little anvils on the back of vices are such handy little dudes. This cover here, there's a dimple on it. It has to line up in one of those holes, I guess. But how do you know when you got it on there, all right? You can't really feel it. So, there it is. Put that on there like that, and then put your screw on, or nut. Great big old 20mm, dude. It is left-hand thread. Don't forget that. Works better if you do that. I grabbed this out of my mechanics toolbox over here in the garage because I don't normally see anything this big on the repair bench. This goes in like that. And it's got a pin that goes through from the back side. And I'm going to lubricate some of this stuff after I get it like in place. So be patient. Hair. All right. And then it's a very unusual shaped reel, so it's hard to hang on to. You got to put some oil. I'll use some pin oil right there for the roller. Nice and smooth. And probably just a little drop of oil right there too. And you got this wild looking nut here. It's also left-hand thread. Everything's left-hand thread on this reel. And you got this forked looking, I don't know what they call that bit. I'm a tool guy, I don't even know what they call that bit. I need to look it up. It just goes on there like that. Don't slip and scuff it up. All right, now to lubricate everything, they had oil packed or grease packed into that right there. So we're going to do the same thing. I don't know why, but that's what we're going to do. That's your bell spring. Bell return spring is the technical term for that. And this little cover that was bent goes on there just like that with a small screw. Now the screws are not left-hand thread. They're all right-hand. The story about this reel is I was looking for, I purchased a Pin 704. You'll see those videos at some point. And there was two of them in this batch, and this reel was in there with them, and those pins were just crusty. One of the reels, it also had hold on a minute, let me get my thoughts together. I got to get this straightened out. It's slipping on me for some daggum reason. We'll call that good. There were 6 large surf size reels in this batch of reels. And one of them was locked completely up. I had thrown it away. It was a what was that? I should have it right here. It was a Roddy. And this reel looks good, but the internals were completely corroded and locked up. Look at all the corrosion on the spool. So I had to throw it away. I couldn't fix it. Would have been a beautiful old Roddy. It was a Japanese-made Roddy. It wasn't anything made in Europe or anything like that. So, but and it had this reel, which looked like it had never been used, other than the handle was missing, which kind of sucked. But There's a screw in there. Make sure it's tight. Okay. And really don't need to do anything with any of that. They had a lot of grease packed on that bell return out there, but I don't know why it would have had that. I really don't. So we're just going to leave it alone. We'll put the shaft in, main axle shaft. And then the other reels that came in there I haven't done yet. I've got a Sears Sport Fisher and a compact Continental. We'll get into that one later. I've never seen one before. It's a beautiful reel. We'll definitely get into that. We'll pack some grease in on that pinion because it was pretty well packed. And then you've got your crosswind block that goes in here. I'm sure this will try my patience. Maybe not. First screw went in all right. No, it didn't. Goodness. Tight fit. And we'll put this in here. And like I said, she's a very simple reel. More simpler. Oh gosh, that's great English. Much simpler than its other French counterparts, the Garcia Mitchells. They are a lot more complicated. It used to be the French could engineer some pretty good stuff, but the newer stuff, especially automobiles, they put out are horrible. I deal with Fiat at work, Fiat diesel engines, FPT they call it. If you see a piece of equipment with FPT on it, buy something else. Thank you. Yeah, with FPT engine in it, they are not good. See, that goes back and forth in there like that. Now let's put this bad boy together. Pretty oily. I didn't skimp on the oil anyway in the cleaning solutions when I cleaned this. This is pretty dirty, but just your typical dirt. Wasn't nothing major. This spring is a little weak. It's not removable. Oh, I see what the problem was. Left-hand threads, man. That was loose. That's why it was. Oh, that's much better. We'll grease that up good. Get some grease up under it. Okay, and we'll turn the anti-reverse off. We can lubricate this shaft after it's in there. We'll put a little bit of oil on going in. Now you can turn the anti-reverse back on. We'll go ahead, well, no, I don't want to put the handle on yet. Let's go ahead and grease this up really good. Plenty of grease in the center because that's where it rides on that crosswind. And then start on your gear. Now, we have to line that crosswind up. Hang on just a second. A little bit of grease in those screw holes. I don't think this reel is going to get used, but that appears to have it. It's not wanting to sit in there real good, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to put the screws back in. But that pin has to go into the center of that crosswind blocker. It won't work. Yeah, that's not in there good. I didn't think it had set in there right. It looks like it's got a twist in it to me. I'm not sure why that is. It won't go in there but one daggone way. Oh, I see what it is. There we go. It was just stuck. Very precise machining on that part. These screws are pretty heavy duty. I love it, unusual reels. I don't know why. I like stuff I haven't seen. I think this one's going to go on my shelf. If nothing else, it's a nice conversation piece. And I've never seen one before. And I got a couple of oddballs on my shelf that people constantly from these videos say, I want to buy that reel, man. And, I keep a list of those people and the reel they're wanting. And maybe someday when I'm ready to retire, I'll make them a deal. There's the washer for the handle and then some grease on that. This wouldn't hurt to get a little bit of oil. Go with some Lucas. This is a Penn 712 greeny reel is what this is. 712. 710 will work, but the 710's got a bend in it, and it kind of looks funky. I ain't gonna lie. Well, that's a lot better. Put some Kroll in it. Kano Kroll. It's good stuff. Loosened it right up. We'll take this. Whoop. Now I gotta get some tweezers. We'll put some oil in that shaft. off of a rod. This thing's like a flounder out of water. It is such an odd shape to it that it's very difficult to hang on to repair. But it's a beautiful reel. And you can see how it works in there now. You turn the bait clicker on, or the anti-reverse on. Isn't that neat? Alright, we'll get some grease on those threads and put that cap on there. I bet you that cap costs more to make if it were made today than a whole fishing reel does today. That's a well-machined, beautiful piece right there. I'm not gonna lie. Just turn it where it's about, if you're OCD like me, where the slot is about like that. And lastly, this thing keeps flipping around. I think it goes like that. I'm going to wipe some of that oil out of there. It originally had 460 yards of 15-pound test. Wow. All I got to say is wow. It has a couple of innovations that, I mean, I don't know what year this reel came from, but it's got a line hook right there. You never see that on these older reels. I need to put some cowls on that washer right there to, if nothing else, to preserve it. It's leather. And after washing the reel, it's a little shriveled up. So we'll put some cowls on it. Help lubricate it. It will flatten back out very nicely when I put the reel back, when I put the spool back on it. And you got another, that looks like a rubber washer, but we're going to go ahead and put some lubricant on it too. It is the only drag washer in it. It does look like a piece of rubber. But that cowls will keep it nice and supple. Listen to me making big words early in the morning. And then you put your drag washer on. Your top washer. I'd call it a press plate, but I had a little bit of grease on both of those three. You got a little bitty stud on top. That thing looks like it would just be a real pain if it breaks. You'd have to buy this whole shaft. Wow, that'd be a pain. I didn't get a chance to go through and clean out those threads or that slot. Let's see what I've got on my. I'd have to change out my grinder. Let's do it real quick. Let's fix it right. Take the old Master Mechanic, variable speed, rotary power. Plug it in right here. One of the things I love about this workbench is I have plug-ins that I did not have at my last house, because I went and spent the money and got the good old Harbor Freight power strips are everywhere. Right here near me, I've got 1, 2, 3. Now, I gotta find something to hold it with. Let's use, I don't know if these forceps will do it. We'll try it. There we go. Hello. All right, I'm going to have to do this really carefully. Yeah. Interesting. There's almost no good way to do this. Maybe if I just hold them with something. That's not gonna work. We're gonna try that. Handling power tools first thing in the morning ain't the best thing to do. So we'll just go with what we got there. I got a better groove in it now. I can definitely put it back in there easier. We'll get started with a regular screwdriver. It's left-hand thread. You do not want to tighten this up super tight. Just snug it. That'll do it right there. All right, let's see what we got after I wipe it down. It reminds me of my Fluger. What is that thing? It's got the point out the back of it. So it's a wild looking, almost gothic looking fishing reel. It's black and red. It's cool looking. It reminds me of that. In fact, I'm going to put it beside it on the shelf because I get a lot of people who come in my room and they're looking at my gear like, what the devil is that? It's an odd looking fishing reel. Well, here it is, folks. Smooth, little wobbly, but that's what these old big reels are. Look at that. Just look at that. Isn't that nice? The roller rolls. The trip works. The handle's not correct. But if you looked at that reel, if you've never seen one of these reels, which I had a hard time finding one on Google, not gonna lie, I really had to look hard to find one on Google. You'd never know that handle wasn't meant for that reel. Even the white paddle just kind of fits the time period, you know? So, if you find an old Centaure Caribe, made in France, and it's missing a handle, just grab you can probably find them on eBay. Go on eBay and find a Pin 712 greeny handle. The regular 712Z would be anodized gold with a black paddle. The greeny has the anodized silver, which all this is anodized. This is all clear anodized with a white paddle, and it looks perfect. It's got the right angle to it, so it clears the bail spring. You know, it came with the reel came without a handle, and I could not find a handle. I looked all over the interwebs and could not find the correct handle for it. So that's what I did. That's me MacGyvering stuff. I do that a lot. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to make a fishing reel work or anything else you're working on. I do that a lot at work. Some of the older stuff we work on for people, you can't get parts for half of it anymore. But they want that sucker fixed right now. So we make it work. Well, this is John, Bench Fisherman. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see, because I got more stuff coming. They're kind of rare. You don't see very often. And, I enjoy this. Take a kid fishing. I don't know any little kids right now. There's a couple neighbor kids, but you know, it seems kind of odd if I walk up to the door and say, I want to take Junior fishing today. Yeah, no. People today don't allow that, you know. And even though I'm a certified youth instructor in Roanoke County, I'm background checked and all that good stuff. You know, never even had a parking ticket, people. I'm Mr. Straight Lace. I've never had a speeding ticket, never had a wreck, never had a parking ticket. Don't drink, don't do drugs. I do like occasional glass of bourbon, but I don't call that drinking. Drinking, somebody does it every day, not me. But that's a little bio on me. I love working with kids. I've done it for a long time, never had any problems, and I like fishing. So take a kid fishing. Take your kid fishing. This is John, Vintage Fisherman. Y'all have a great day.